Alright, hello everybody, this is Magic, and I'm going to give you another good cast today. So we have Mr. DREAMAttero. DREAMAttero. Now, I'm not sure if Dream is a team or not. There's just so many teams, I don't want to really, I don't want to have to worry about, how many different teams there are. But if there is a Dream team, then he's on it, apparently. So anyways, he spawned at the bottom right here as our red Protoss. And, well, you already know XNJakeBake is playing once again at the top left here as our blue Zerg. So it is Zerg against Protoss. And it looks like we're just going around the horn, just getting up every single matchup today. Because this is the fourth cast? Did someone just give me a message? Already doing it, man. Alright, well, anyways, back to the casting. We do have a lot of drones coming out here. Looks like XNJakeBake did a 9 Overlord, which is very standard. I actually personally do prefer the 10 Overlord. Sometimes, just because the timing works out. Where I don't know, I like to do an 11 Overpool, so I time it out so that, against Protoss anyway, I time it out, with the 3 drones, it times out so that everything just works out really well. You get your pool up at a certain time, you get your drone out, you get to scout, and it delays the pool, or it delays things just slightly so that you can have a couple of extra seconds to get that pool up. To scout and see if you want to put up that pool early enough or not. Sorry, I'm just a little bit distracted right now. And yep, I actually always forget. These replays can actually be found on se-replay.com. So yeah, you can find it there. So anyways, XNJakeBake here going up for that hatchery right away. Not getting a couple of drones, just get up that hatchery extra soon. Spawning pool extra soon. And did he find him? No, he has not found his opponent yet. He's just kind of deciding to do that since it is a very big map. He does not. Once you get the pool up, it's kind of like you're safe because if you want to, you can build Zerglings. You don't have to. Then you can just drone it as much as you want while you get up that initial set of Zerglings. So anyways, Attero, getting up all the normal stuff at 7x core and the gas, the gateway, possibly a second gateway soon, we'll find out in just a moment. Actually not too long, but at some point. It looks like this one Zealot is just going around, going to be scouting a little bit. He knows he's safe for now because this probe's here. He knows that there isn't a ton of Zerglings out, so he knows he can leave his base. And he's also chrono boosting out another guy, so he's safe to leave his base with that initial guy, knowing that there is not going to be an attack. Just that initial scout, always very important. He wants to save that probe. Excuse me. Definitely a good call there. You don't want to lose that probe just because it was scouting, So most players leave the probe. The probe leaves the Zerg base before the Zerglings come out, so you don't lose it. And then it looks like this guy just being smart, getting up that Zealot, forcing some extra Zerglings. And well, it looks like he's even pressuring with that Stalker. He even has another Stalker on the way. I do believe it's Stalker. Yep, it is a Stalker. And there's going to be enough Zerglings here to kill off a bunch of guys. But well, at least that one guy. They are slow Zerglings, so he's not going to be able to do too much because Stalkers can cut Zerglings fairly well. It looks like he's choosing not to, since there's only a couple Zerglings there. Queen might actually go down here. It looks like XNJakeBake has an extra Queen out already. Nope, it's actually the one from his main. And it looks like the Queen has gone down, so he's just pulling off that extra Queen early, knowing that that one was probably going to be dying. So I do believe he should be building another one soon. He really needs to. Well, I guess you don't really actually need it this soon. Now that I really look at his larva count and his money situation, you don't actually need it that soon. That's actually something I do by mistake. Like, I build a Queen, and I'm like, oh wait, I don't actually have the money to spend all my larva. And then it's like halfway done when I actually realize it, so I'm like, do I really want to cancel this or not? Maybe I'll lose this other Queen, so I maybe should just get it, So, anyways, Attero getting up that expansion for himself. Looks like a 3-gate expand. Pretty standard stuff, especially for this map. Just because it is a large map, you can get away with a 3-gate expand fairly easily. And with that early scout, he knows that Zerg does not have a billion guys on the way. It looks like, well, XNJakeBake is getting up a lot of guys. So I don't know. Maybe he's gonna actually do a pressure or timing attack here. Um, it's just such a common build today for Protoss players to get that 3-gate expand, to expand with not too many guys out. You don't have a huge production. You need 4 gates that actually equal 2 hatcheries being produced. So I mean, because I've actually, with the 4-gate, I've had a couple games where it's actually a back and forth battle up to micro to who wins, because it's just both players just, it's me and this other guy, I guess a couple of other guys because it was a couple of games, but we just kept producing a bunch of guys, and it's just really back and forth, and it was very even, for most of the game. So I mean, you really need 4 gates to really equate for 2 hatcheries that are, able to produce completely out of them. If they don't have enough drones, obviously they can't produce enough guys. But looks like xNJakeBake here going across that map. Looks like he is going to be pressuring in here. Attero does not have a wall off yet, and he does have some pretty good force fields there, blocking off those roaches. Actually, really good force fields blocking them off. And that's really what it comes down to. Really good force field placement is going to determine how things go. Oh wow, that was just amazing placement there. It was really good timing and placement. That's what it was just so good. But it looks like these roaches are going to continue on there and do what they can. And there's a lot of sentries up, but you really want to be target firing the stalkers, since the stalkers are what deal the damage. And well, the stalkers are being added on here, as he does still have a lot of sentries left. The force fields, they do not have enough force fields to do anymore. So it's really coming down to what can Protoss do here. This really isn't much. He can corner himself a little bit, make it so it's harder for these roaches to actually attack. But well, he's just gonna have to keep up some really good micro. Lots of more guys on the way for Zerg. There's just a big stream on the way. Little groups of guys as they spawn. As xNJakeBake gets the money for it, he really needs to spew that larva. Oh well, looks like he's gonna do a bunch of damage anyways. But he's want to be careful with that. Protoss actually had he had a lot of money. Now he's putting up all those cannons for that defense. And xNJakeBake here on the run back to his base. Now that's the tricky thing. To do this kind of an attack without that speed, roach speed, then you're just going to lose a bunch of guys on the way back. But of course, then you can reinforce it with Zerglings, and fight back with them. Protoss won't be at their base. The safety of their base will warp more guys, so Protoss overcommits to that. Robotics facility going down, +1 attack going up, and just the wall off is nearing completion. I do believe he's going to continue on and build maybe a gateway there. Just to complete it off a little bit. He's going to need one soon, I do believe. Anyways, lots of Zerglings now. The remaining roaches as well. Oh man, that sucks. Lots of Zerglings being completely trapped with that forge. Looks like they could attack that forge. Looks like they're not going to choose to. And Zerg's just going to lose all those guys for nothing. All those Zerglings doing absolutely nothing while they were killed off. And that is a true danger. I do believe Attero canceled his 2 cannons. He did not need them all, so he decided, okay, I'm just going to cancel them, save that money, produce some extra stuff with them. And like I was saying, he really needs to produce another gateway right now. He just get up a lot of money. He has 3 gates and a robo off 2 bases, and his money's piling up just a little bit too much. And Zerg is taking a 3rd. So 3rd base going up here right into this vicinity of his other 2 bases here, right at the natural 3rd. Personally on this map, I do like a base here instead, or possibly one over here. But of course, then your opponent could place some pylons and warp in some zealots to do some harassment. I just like it because you can put them out there, and then if Protoss wants to kill it off, he has to go all the way out there, and you can just go counterattack and do a bunch of damage. So I always like that kind of feeling. But anyways, it looks like Attero is getting up his own expansion at that 3rd, the natural 3rd. And his +1 is finished. He's getting up that armor now. And, well, an Immortal is on the way as well. No extra gateway yet. Looks like his spending money is okay, but, just a little bit extra. So I do believe you can get 4 gates and a robo with really good macro, off 2 bases. Deciding to expand, not a bad choice either. Okay, so he does have an observer out. So he does know that the Zerg is watching the watchtower, and he knows that he has that many units, which is just fine. It's not like a lot of units or 2 little units. If he had just like 10 Zerglings and two roaches, then you'd be like, okay, I need to go in there and kill him, right? I mean, move the observer around, see if he has any more at his base. Tech-wise, it looks like Zerg just got his lair. And well, he's getting up some layer tech upgrades, such as the Roach Speed and the Burrow, and as well as 2 Evolution Chambers, getting up some upgrades. Excuse me, my throat's just getting a little dry, my throat's getting a little screwed up. But looks like Terran is, or Protoss, excuse me, he's getting up a Twilight Council. Looks like he's going to go Blink, possibly some Dark Templar, possibly some High Templar. I do believe Blink is the first option that you get in this kind of build with that third. Well, then again, with that third, you can actually just go High Templar, but it is kind of a tricky thing to do just because you need some kind of stepping stone between gateway units and getting up a High Templar, because I mean a High Templar does take a little bit of time. You need to get those that Storm, you need to get you get the Twilight Council, and then you get the Templar Archives, and then you get Storm. So I mean there's like that big period of time when you don't have any kind of extra tech while spending a lot on tech, which means that Zerg has an opportunity to smash the Protoss. Immortals are a good stepping stone for that. They do help out with that, especially against Roaches. Blink would not be a bad choice, but I just feel like he's trying to get away with a lot right now. Hydralisks, if Hydralisks were coming in here, they could really do some awesome damage. Of course, that's tricky actually very tricky for Zerg to determine. You don't know what he has. You really got to scout really well, and then you got to know the timing so well that you know that the High Templar is on the way before it actually even is on the way. Before this Templar Archives is on, then you want to start making Hydralisks, because by the time you have enough, and by the time you get to his base, if you don't get it, if you get it a little bit too late, by the time the High Templar, if you see the High Templar, then it's too late. High Templar Archives, then it's too late, because Storm's on the way. By the time you get there with all your Hydralisks, it's going to be too late, and you're going to lose all your Hydralisks to the Storm. So that took a little bit to explain, but it's just a good point to make. As a Zerg player, that's the kind of thing you look for. You got to do something a little bit sooner so that you can smash face by the time before it gets there. Because now that the High Templar are out, they're going to be those Storm, and Hydralisks just suck the Storm. But anyways, both players here getting up a fourth. Looks like Zerg is going to be expanding down the bottom here. But Attero is expanding down the bottom as well, so I really wish XNJakeBake would do a little bit more recon. Use his Overlords and speed, just use them around the map, know what's going on. He does not know, actually he does know that that's up. Alright, my bad, he did scout it. So he knows everything is going down. And some kind of upgrade just finished. Looks like Protoss has +2 attack, +1 armor. Zerg on +1 attack. Armor's just about to finish. I wonder if the let me click on Zerglade. Zerglade, there we go. Sorry, I just had to really find that Zerglade. So anyways, this is an awesome combination of units. High Templar, Immortals, and Stalkers and Sentries. What is better than that? Use the High Templar against any kind of Hydralisk and Mutalisk. You use the Stalkers against Mutalisk and Zerglings and all that, and Roaches. Immortals use the Roaches for the Roaches, and the Sentries for the Zerglings, so it's just like a combination that works against everything. I can't believe we got this up in such a good time. Actually, it's, just having this many units with that many different tech structures and this good economy while being able to defend it the entire time. He had enough forces to really not die. He had a couple of windows there for Zerg, but with proper scouting, those windows demolish, and it looks like Zerg is going to be surrounding this. Just tons and tons of Roaches. Not too many Zerglings, just tons and tons of Roaches. And the Immortals are in front, which is exactly where you do not want them. Storms did go up, but the High Templar are dead now. Or actually, there's a couple of Archons out now. But for Roaches, Archons are nothing, So, looks like Protoss is getting smashed. Lots of Roaches up here, still alive. +3 on the way for Protoss, and just more Immortals on the way. He really needs to get a bunch of stuff up right now to defend. Zerg just going to be producing lots of Roaches for that attack there. Immortals are really good against Roaches. Like, they do a sick amount of damage. But if they're up front, they just die. Even with that hardened shield, they just